it's Terry over at Decorate with Tip and More. Today's going to be a thrift with us. It was time to get out and do some thrift store shopping and share with you what we found and how we changed it to fit our home. I did take Miss Kaylani over the weekend into Goodwill. I was very disappointed at what was in the store. There was hardly anything in the store. I guess people are not purging and getting rid of things quite yet. But I did find a couple things that I wanted to share with you and how I'm going to change them to fit my style in my home. These two pieces, I don't know if they are furniture legs or if they were part of a railing. I'm not for sure. They're solid wood. They do have a nail where you can place a real candle up on them. But we're going to change these out to make them more my style. But $1.99 each. I couldn't pass it up. So we're going to see what I can do with those. With those, I am planning to use two of the Crafter Squares from the Dollar Tree beads. I found these a while back and I picked them up because I never saw these before, and I love beads. Beads anything. So I picked up two of those. So I took them out of my craft closet, and we're going to use them along with this. And here's my thought. When I saw this, I loved the movement of the pattern here. I'm not quite sure about the square here, but we'll make it work. This is what I thought when I saw this. I have these I purchased at Hobby Lobby. This one was $19.99. This one was $24.99. Even at 50% off, I could still make this work a lot less expensive than buying these. But I still thought these were reasonable and I loved them, so I picked them up. So we're going to try to make my thrift store find more what you can find at a department store. So let's see what I can do with that. First thing I want to do is remove these, I don't know if they're nails, but they're like a little metal spike. So I'm going to take my little pliers and see if I can pull it out, and they're coming right out. And what they are is just a little paneling nail. So I am going to see if I can remove this. That one came out really easy. And then to make them a different size, I'm going to go out and use my table saw and cut this square piece off of this one. And then this one, I'm just not real fond of the square. So I'm going to see if I could cut the corners off of this and taper this off to make it a little more rounder than the square. Sand it and try to get all this silver paint off of it. It looks like maybe a glaze. And then we're going to stain them all along with my beads. And then we're going to dress these candlesticks up. So I'm going to go out in the garage, cut these off, and then I'll bring them back to you, and then we'll do our magic. Okay, so I went outside and I cut this one, the little square off, and I sanded them both as much as I could. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe them off with just a damp cloth. Make sure I get the dust off of it. This one too. So it was cut off like this, but I'm thinking about turning it this way and then using it as a candle holder this way. And I tried to sand the square edges as much as I could, but this is what we are going to use. And then I am going to take some special walnut, some gloves, a sponge brush, and stain the beads along with the two wood pieces. Put my gloves on, open my can here. My next project is painting my workstation again. It's really bad and needing a makeover. All right, so what I'm going to do on these, I am going to leave them on the string. I will remove the little tag though, but for easy to work with, I'm going to just stain them while they're on the string here. I'm going to put them in my hand here and take the stain. The excess stain is on my rubber gloves, so I'm going to scrunch them up in my wet glove and try to get as much stain on the beads as I can. And then I'm just going to lay them on a drop cloth there. And I'm going to do the same thing to these beads. I'm going to wipe my gloves off. And I'm going to stain the wood pieces the same way. Some of the places I could not get into the grooves of the wood. I didn't take my time on sanding because I knew I was going to whitewash this anyway. So what I'm going to do is take some ivory. This is the Waverly chalk paint, and apply it in a dry brush fashion to the wood here. I'm going to add some to my chip brush. Just kind of sweep it onto the wood here in different directions. Make sure that it gets into the wood grain. And I'm dry brushing it. I am not using full loaded paint. And then I'm going to take a wet cloth and I'm just going to wipe as much as the white paint I can, just leaving it into the grain. That a lot better. I'm going to do this. If you can see the difference, pretty much looks like it's weathered. If you can see, I'm going to do the same thing with my beads. So I have my beads dry brushed and my wood pieces. Now I'm going to take some wood glue, and what I'm going to do is leave them on the string, making sure that they're pretty close, and I'm going to glue the beads. Look how pretty that is. I love that. Okay, I'm going to take some Tri-Bond wood glue and a paintbrush, and I'm going to paint some glue inside this crevices here where I'm going to place my beads. And I'm going to let the glue dry just a little bit so it becomes tacky, and then we will add the beads on the candle holder here and let it sit and dry. So what I did is I just painted the glue around, and I'm going to let that sit. And I'm also going to paint it around this divot and that divot as well. Okay, I have my glue on both of my candle holders here. Right, let's see how tacky that is. So I cut my bead. I'm going to wrap them around where I got it glued. Make sure that the beads are pretty well close to each other as I wrap, making them tight. And I'm holding the beads on just a little bit. I think I'm going to add a little bit of glue, hot glue, just to hold the first bead in place. And then cut off the excess string. love that. I'm gonna let that dry, and now I'm gonna do, I have the other strand. I'm gonna add it to the top here. Making sure that it's all good and tight. Tie the two beads together. Cut the strand of beads. I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the two end beads. Make sure that it's pressed up against the indentation. And I'm going to take the rest of the beads, the strings together to make one strand, and I'm going to add the beads to the indentation. So I'm going to tie it off before I cut it. So I just love this. I'm gonna let those dry, and then I'll share with you how I style them in our home. Also, if you like my video, please give me a big thumbs up. Sprinkle it with your friends so that it will get out there to more people. Hopefully they'll come over to Decorate with Tip and More, and follow me. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching. God bless. See you tomorrow.